Our News on Terror segment tonight. SEAL Team 6, in tandem with the FBI, conducted a raid on Sunday somewhere in Libya that led to the capture of Mustafa al-Imam, a terrorist wanted in connection to the attack in Benghazi in 2012, the attack that left 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens, dead. The president said in response to this capture to the families of those fallen heroes, "I want you to know that your loved ones are not forgotten and they will never be forgotten." The terrorist, al-Imam, will be transported to the U.S. to face trial, and that is my main issue with this story. With me now to break it down, Director of the Threat Information Office at the Center for Security Policy, Kyle Shideler. Kyle, good to see you.
Liz, thanks for having me.
All right, Kyle, I want to start this segment by talking about this terrorist himself. His name is Mustafa al-Imam. The mainstream media is not covering this story much. They're not covering who the perpetrators of this attack were, even though we are familiar with their names. Mustafa al-Imam is not known to be the actual mastermind behind this attack. Who is he and what role did he play?
Well, U.S. officials have said that they have video showing Mustafa al-Imam on the property in Benghazi during the attack. And so he appears to have been one of the Ansar al-Sharia gunmen who took part in that attack, both on the diplomatic compound and on the CIA annex. The supposed mastermind of that attack is Ahmed Abu Khatallah, who is already in the United States. He was picked up in 2014 and is currently facing trial.
Right, and it's funny to me that while Osama bin Laden and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, those are household names in the United States, we all know that they were the masterminds behind 9/11. These names are not known because the media doesn't talk about this terror attack. Even though 4 Americans were killed here, they don't talk about it for political reasons. Kyle, I said in the introduction, one of my problems with how this is being handled is that these terrorists are being extradited, brought to the United States to face trial, and they are going to be tried in federal court versus a military tribunal here. And I'm not sure that it's a good idea to be trying terrorists in federal court. Why is the Trump administration doing this?
Well, I think it's a mistake, Liz. I agree with you there. But part of this is a mistake that was made by the Obama administration. Their decision to bring Ahmed Abu Khatallah to the United States to face trial sort of brings the whole thing into the federal sphere rather than in the U.S. Military and intelligence sphere. If I had my druthers, Mustafa al-Imam would either have been taken to Gitmo or simply drone striked. But if we're going to have a federal trial for the mastermind, I guess it makes a certain amount of sense for justice to say we'd like to bring some of these other gunmen here as well to take part as part of this trial, help us with our case, and really prove our point about what happened on the night of that attack. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's treating a military problem and a terrorism problem like a law enforcement problem, but that's the decision that the Obama administration made back in 2014, and it seems to me that the Trump administration is sort of rolling with what they were presented. That's probably a mistake in my book, but that seems to be what they're doing.
But basically what you're saying is the precedent was set, and it would rock the boat to change it, although I still think it might be the better answer here, or more information might be able to be gotten from these terrorists if they were subject to a little more enhanced interrogation in Gitmo than they're going to get in federal court here. One of the other problems, and I guess there's 3 problems, the interrogation issue, and second of all, is if they are tried in federal court, as they are given the same rights as American citizens. And I guess I don't understand why we would give terrorists those rights. I mean, those rights are meant to protect Americans, but we don't owe it to these terrorists to give them the same rights.
No, we don't. And these individuals were captured on a foreign battlefield. They are clearly members of an organization that is at war with the United States. You know, Ansar al-Sharia is an affiliate of al-Qaeda with whom we remain at war. So we would absolutely be within our rights to either kill them on the battlefield or take them prisoner and interrogate them to acquire additional information in order to conduct further strikes. Interestingly enough, I think President Trump has the right instincts on this issue. We saw him comment something to this effect during just after the New York attack earlier in the week. So he has a recognition that there's a fundamental problem with applying law enforcement principles to this war. Yet in this case, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice is still kind of moving forward with the old Obama talking points.
Right, and then so that's the first two, the interrogation, the lack of capacity to interrogate if they're tried in civilian court, the fact that they're given the same rights as American citizens, which they certainly have not earned, they don't deserve, and we don't owe it to them to apply those rights to them. And then my third issue is the danger to the communities. This is the problem I had when President Obama was constantly saying he wanted to close down Gitmo and bring all those terrorists to federal correctional facilities in the United States. When we have this level, this high-level terrorists, these high-level terrorists in our country, it is a danger to the communities in which they are housed. Even if there is no danger of them breaking out of jail, that draws other terror activity to that area. It makes it a more dangerous place for us to live with our families.
That's absolutely true, and there's no need for it, considering the fact that we have a special built facility in Guantanamo Bay that is totally isolated. It has everything that we need for holding high-value detainees and interrogating them in a safe and proper manner. So there's no reason not to use that facility if it's available to us. And I think President Trump realizes that, and so I don't know why he hasn't instructed the Department of Defense and the intelligence agency to reopen those efforts. Instead, they're sort of going along with what the Obama administration did, which was absolutely mistaken on this point. Now, President Trump did tweet about how the Gitmo Military Commission hearings have been something of a zoo, which is true. They have not proceeded at the speed or with the efficiency that one might have hoped out of U.S. military commissions. But I think the answer to that would be to fix that process, not necessarily to make terrorists appear in federal court as a law enforcement matter when it really should be treated as a military and an intelligence matter.
Right. You're 100% correct here, and hopefully President Trump will give more attention to this as the story is brought to light, and we help bring it to light, so hopefully that helps. Kyle, thanks for coming on the show. It was great to talk to you.